what we are going to see in the next 2 to 3 years is you're going to see a ton of people who just happen to have a lot of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
And, those same guys are going to be like, Fred Krueger. Apparently, the guy's been doing Bitcoin conference channels, podcasting. The guy must have a lot of Bitcoin. Okay, let's talk to Fred Krueger and see what we can offer him. And the thing that's going to get me is not like their diversification and blah blah blah. The thing that'll get me is, listen, we have this great lending platform for gentlemen such as yourself, and what we really would like to show you is how you can live for the rest of your life on your Bitcoin without ever selling any of them.
In this recent interview on Math, Money, Bitcoin, we engage with mathematician and entrepreneur Fred Krueger, who shares his groundbreaking insights into Bitcoin's future. Krueger makes a compelling argument for Bitcoin's immense potential, especially in light of recent market fluctuations. Currently, Bitcoin is trading around $64,000, reflecting a 1% increase in the last 24 hours and a 5% gain over the past month. With 19.73 million Bitcoins in circulation out of the maximum 21 million, scarcity is becoming a significant factor. Krueger's analysis suggests we're on the brink of a financial revolution, with Bitcoin potentially reaching $4.5 million per coin in the next 15 years. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out Daily 5-Minute Crypto newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
I think that this thing is going to be a great wealth, like a wealth management and gathering of wealth assets, right? So as a guy, not who's been on Wall Street, but who's sold a ton of companies, right? I've had 10 exits and started companies and sold them. All for $10 to $200 million, right? And I can tell you that when my first exit, Morgan Stanley called me up and they're like, Fred, great. Saw you sold this software company for 20 million and would love to have lunch. And would you like to open an account at Morgan Stanley? And would you like to potentially put a collar on your Macromedia shares? And then after the next company, it was Goldman Sachs who called me up and was like, Fred, we saw you sold another company. I know you have a relationship with Morgan Stanley, but we can do a slightly more interesting, collar swap. I can't even remember what it was the second time on these new vignette shares that you have, right? So listen, I think that everybody and their brother is interested in this, wealth management fee business, right? And, it used to be that you would go through the list of all these tech companies that were sold and you go to the, top 3 people in them and you'd try to get them to sign up to Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, or Goldman Sachs, right? And I think, and we have this very, very safe way that you'll never be called in the middle of the night. And by the way, the fact that we're not open in the middle of the night is an advantage for you because there won't be any capital call in the middle of the night, right? And we're going to segregate your exposure in a way where, your Bitcoin assets, you're going to have a week period, you're going to have some time. If we do need more collateral, you'll have some time. Maybe you're going to go sell some stocks to, bridge your Bitcoin collateral, right? But maybe you're going to have to take out a home equity loan if things really go bad, right? And, you're going to sign the loan that you're going to sign is going to be a loan. You're going to be on the hook for this loan, right? But you're not going to have risk because it's going to be through Merrill Lynch. You're not going to have risk that Merrill Lynch is going to go bust the same way that Celsius went bust. Although Schwab, is looking a little iffy right here, but maybe the Schwab guys will say the same thing, right? But I just think that product is going to be it's going to resonate with a lot of people, right? And some guy, and by the way, I think in the same way that tech founders generally, for the most part, in their first company, don't have a relationship with Wall Street, right? But they do after selling their first company. they do have they do set up one of these guys gets them, right? And they become the client of Morgan Stanley or Merrill or whoever, right? So I think that's going to be the battleground for these wealth management firms. And, and it's sort of evergreen because they'll get the guys, they'll have Bitcoin. And then as the Bitcoin grows, over the years, these clients are going to be major clients of the firm, right? So it's a fantastic, if I were John Mack, I would be like, we're going to get all our guys to go canvas out all these Bitcoiners. We're going to show up and we're going to try to figure out who are the guys who own more than 500 Bitcoin. Okay. Let's find those guys.
As we just heard Fred Krueger share his outlook on Bitcoin, let's delve deeper into his predictions for its future. With a strong background in mathematics and Wall Street experience, Krueger argues that Bitcoin is on a predictable growth path. He explains that the Power Law model projects Bitcoin could reach $200,000 to $250,000 by late 2025 and an astonishing $1 million per coin by 2032. He compares Bitcoin's adoption curve to other technological revolutions, suggesting we are still in the early stages of a major financial shift. Krueger also touches on the potential impact of the upcoming U.S. elections on Bitcoin, asserting that regardless of the outcome, Bitcoin's fundamental value proposition remains unchanged. Now, let's hear more from Fred Krueger on math, money, Bitcoin.
Yeah. So, look, I think I'm sort of a student of how kind of all this stuff's changed. And I look kind of to Andrew, to kind of see kind of where this ETF stuff is really kind of happening and the pulse of it. I kind of saw when this ETF was coming out that, this thing that is Wall Street that keeps on changing, right? Mm-hmm. And the ETFs itself were just, they were a minuscule thing in 2004, right? We went from, 300 billion to 10 trillion in sort of total volume of ETFs. And I don't think people understand that the ETF sort of volume as a whole has gone up that much. So, it's gone up 30x in the last 20 years, so we have this, we have a new way. Wealth is managed differently. Active management is out. Passive management is in. Mutual funds are dead, pretty much. Now we have ETFs for single stocks like Tesla, So I think we're in a new zone, new era, and I think Wall Street's very good at reinventing itself. And I think I am a fundamental believer that once it's finished fighting crypto, it will embrace crypto and it will find. It is ingenious at finding ways to make money, to the point where, look, the financial sector of the U.S. economy is something like 13% of the, so Wall Street finds ways to employ, hundreds of thousands of people, 600,000 analysts, people who are financial advisors. There's 600,000 of them in the U.S. Right. There's just an amazing number of people. So I am completely convinced that they're going to find ways to manage people's Bitcoin, to lend against people's Bitcoin. And I think one of the things that I'm, a lot of people who follow me are all the people who follow me are Bitcoiners, 100% of them. And 100% of them are asking, the one question that they all ask is, how can I live off my Bitcoin without selling my Bitcoin? That is the number one question, right? And I would say that the one thing you can take out of Celsius is that there was perfect product market fit, right? Yep. That there Celsius and BlockFi and Abra, all three of them, the idea of, hey, I want to earn a little extra yield on my Bitcoin, or I would like to borrow against my Bitcoin. Both of those things, clearly there's product market fit. Now, I don't think a lot of people are going to be trusting the next Celsius coming, the next startup.
Krueger makes a compelling argument for Bitcoin's exponential growth potential, supported by mathematical models and historical data. He encourages viewers to view Bitcoin as a long-term investment, highlighting its importance as a hedge against economic uncertainty. We'd love to hear your thoughts on a few questions. How does Krueger's power law model influence your perspective on Bitcoin's long-term value? And considering his predictions, what steps are you taking to position yourself in the Bitcoin market? For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.